Actor, college football coach, wealth manager. That is Eddie George's impressive resume. As you see, he's our special guest today at Post 9. Welcome back. It's good to have you back.
It's been a long time. Good to see you guys. Happy holidays.
Yep, and you as well. I know you're in town for the Heisman Trophy presentation as a past winner. Which never gets tired, I'm sure.
You know, it gets better in time. You know, I talked to the young man, Jaden Daniels, who won it this past weekend, and he's getting thrown all over the place. Like, they have him going to the stock exchange. They got him pulled here, doing interviews and signing autographs. You got to sign 300 balls as a Heisman winner. That's your reward. You get the trophy, and then it's off the press, and you have to sign all these autographs. And I said, trust me, it gets better after this.
And then you get to hang out in the Heisman house with you.
So it's right.
It's all good. Look, so you've done so many incredible things, as we said with your resume. Let's talk wealth management first before we pivot into some other areas. One of the reasons you got into wealth management was because you wanted kids coming out of college, like the young man who just won the Heisman, to be more financially literate. And you felt as though we weren't.
Right. And it's just being set up for success. That's right. You know, coming out of college, going into the NFL, you're going to come across so many different people, different characters. They all want something from you: your time, your money, your energy. And I wanted to get into the business to help guys, just coach them through that. Through that side, that transition, you know, especially on the financial side. It's just about preserving your money. You know, we're not trying to make you money. We don't want you to lose it. We want you to have income after you retire, because once your playing days are done, you know, it's tough to find that next thing, that transition, your purpose, your life purpose. And to be financially sound is a big part of that. And we want the guys that we're with to preserve their financials, and that's why I really got into the business, and I've been in it for almost a decade, if you can believe that now, and we're really thriving and doing well.
Well, your partner, Greg Eastman, through Ameriprise, was your own financial advisor for a long time,
and that's
right?
The key. It's the relationship. I've known Greg, gosh, since 1996. My first game against the Kansas City Chiefs, he was there on the sidelines, believe it or not. And he helped me get a pass from my friend to get on the field. I'm like asking this dude, like, well, can you give me a pass from my buddy on the sideline? Long story short, we became good friends. He's been my financial advisor, now my business partner for well over 30 years in the business. We always talk strategy. We're always talking about the markets, what we're doing really well together, and just really excited about it right now.
How many clients are former athletes?
I would say right now about
current for that matter.
We have current about six to seven current athletes. A couple of them are retired, and you know, again, we put them in vehicles that are going to produce income after you retire.
Like Apple and all these other names.
Hey,
what do you guys
the Magnificent Seven, baby. The Magnificent Seven. That steady Eddie, you know, is working for you. You know, you got your Apple, Amazon, you know, your energy sector and your tech sector. So we just, if it works, it works, and that's what's been really doing well. I think one thing we've been able to do is take advantage of the market now, where inflation is pretty high, and the municipal bond area. We've gotten some good returns on that as well for our clients. So that's our core. That is our identity, you know, is sticking what works.
So now you are the head football coach at Tennessee State University. How's the transition been to actually being a coach of young men, and what are your greater aspirations there?
You know what? I'm a leader who's coaching football. And the things I'm talking about in the financial world, I'm talking about life skills, preparing them for life through the prism of football. And that being financially literate, that's being professional, being on time. All the things that I thought was corny that my coaches used to talk about when I was growing up, I'm using now because it applies. You know, all the small details that don't require talent for you to be successful, for you to be great, that's what I'm preaching day in and day out. You know, are you an asset or are you a liability? You know, assets, they come, they produce, they encourage one another. It's a positive atmosphere that they're creating, and they're helping their teammates raise the standard. Or your liability, not showing up on time, bad attitude, bad energy. So that's what I'm doing for coaching. I'm trying to win a few ball games and championships in the process.
How do you compete in what has been an unbelievably changed world with NIL, name, image, likeness, where kids are getting millions of dollars to play college football?
How much time we got?
Yeah.
Am I on this for a couple seconds? Yeah. Because listen, that's the hot topic, and at our level, it does impact us. But again, are we setting up our kids for success? We're talking about kids making almost $20 million, $5 million. Kids are jumping in the portal to get a different bag every day, and if they get that bag, Uncle Sam's going to come knocking. So you got to be set up for success. You got to understand that money, half of that's going to go to Uncle Sam. And do you have the right advisors around you? Do you have your LLC set up? I mean, so it's very important that, we're throwing money out there. They're saying kids can go and get money off their name, image, and likeness, which is great. But there has to be guidelines and rails around this thing, because kids are going to get hurt because of this, financially speaking, once they get out of the game of football.
Do you see yourself being a coach, whether it's at the current school or somewhere else, maybe even the pros down the road? Is that what you want to do?
Scott, I've done so many things, man. I've been on Broadway, Chicago a few years ago. If that's in God's plan for me, I'm going to do just that. I'm right where my feet are planted, and right now, I'm coaching football. I'm preserving the wealth of my clients, and if the NFL or another opportunity is in the works for that, it'll work itself out. I'm totally open for it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Joe?
It's awesome. Let me ask you, if you think about the time management that a lot of these kids have right now, and you reflect on your time management when you were a player, how critical do you think that is? Because it seems to me that we fail in messaging to the youth of today, how they manage that time, and how do you get your players to understand that?
Time is such a value. It's such a commodity that you cannot buy. Unfortunately, I'm segueing into this, but I lost a dear friend of mine just yesterday, Frank Wycheck, former teammate with the Titans, died at 52. And you don't know how much time that you do have on this earth. So I tell my kids, set your priorities. What is your legacy vision for your life? I have them write this out in grave detail about where you see your life at. Going professionally, family-wise, spiritually, everything. And then that is your compass. So every decision that you make from this point on, when you wake up in the morning, is geared toward that vision and toward that purpose. And that's a relationship that you have to have with God. I mean, honestly, you have to have that higher calling to know what it is that you're here to do and live to that on a daily basis. So I try to tell them, listen, you got time for partying, that's great.
Yeah.
You got time to go hang out in the quad or whatever with the kids, but when you wake up in the morning, if you want to be an All-American, that's All-American work that you got to put in. Right. Every single day in the classroom, in the weight room, and so forth. So that's what I would say.
All right, 6-5 record this year. So you have a winning record. A shout out.
That's some meat on the bone.
A shout out to your son.
Should have been 9 wins or 10 wins, but yeah.
A shout out to your son as well, who plays for you, and he was on the freshman All-America team. We wish you continued success.
Thank you, guys. You guys too. Good
stop by
you.
anytime you want.
I think I'll come by next year. How about that?
Okay.
All right. God bless you, man.
That
Thank
works.
you. Happy holidays.
Well. It's Eddie George
right,
joining us here at Post 9. Final trades are next.